Today we're gonna talk about thumbnails. A thumbnail is usually several sketches, small, not detailed sketches, before you do the main drawing, just to see if you like the composition. Maybe you don't want to see if the positions work, or if you have an idea but you're not sure on which one is the best. The word thumbnail is not the one you're used to hear about, the YouTube thumbnail. But it is kind of that. A YouTube thumbnail is usually a picture to represent the video. This is more or less several sketches that is supposed to be representative of your finished drawing, but with no details so you can see if it works. And the word thumbnail comes from when you draw it on paper and pen, you usually do it in the size of your thumb. A small, easy, non-detailed sketch in that size. So for instance, here we have the finished drawing paper. This is where the finished drawing is gonna be. So for instance, let's mark everything. And I'm gonna do a quick border just so I can see. So now we have a border around everything here. So I'm gonna copy that, mark everything, and copy that layer and copy it to this paper, a smaller piece of paper, but I'm gonna shrink this. Now you don't have to have the exact size. But for me, sometimes, size and the format is very important to perhaps a client or something, or maybe I just want it to be perfect from the start, so it's easy to do this. So now we have a small version of that. I'm gonna go and duplicate this, and I'm gonna move it to the side here, and we're gonna let's do 4, because that's usually what I do. I do 4 of these, and from these 4 I'm gonna choose one of them. So let's make these all one layer. Boom, now we have all the 4 here. So let's go into detail. Now this is a cover, so I'm gonna be on a new layer, and I'm gonna put some red here, and we're gonna go with a smaller brush. So for instance, let's say that the title is somewhere around here. Usually imagine that it's more space than what you have, okay? Always try to make it bigger or smaller than it usually is, because then you have some room to play with. So try and make it a little bit smaller or something like that when it comes to the width. When it title, use it bigger and bigger. Maybe you will only use perhaps like this, but always remember there could be some paper things or something like here or something like that. So remember, always try to push it. But let's see. An idea we could do is a fantasy guy in a battle. Perhaps he's fighting a lot of guys. Maybe we want to show him being kind of a legendary warrior or something like that. So for instance, we could do, let's see, we're gonna do one guy. Perhaps he's just standing after the battlefield, kind of tired, having his hand, stuff like this. As you can see, I'm not doing much detail, just trying to get the mood, kind of the feeling I want for it. So maybe kind of like crawling up some bodies or something like that, kind of a Conan style thing. So on here we could have the bodies he's crawling up. So maybe his hand is like this. Here there's a lot of bodies. He has perhaps like a spear or something. Something like that. Maybe there are some people's heads stuck on like this. Yeah, something like this. And maybe some swords sticking out, arrows and stuff like that. So yeah, something perhaps like this. And as you can see, I'm pretty much done with the sketch for this. Maybe we could have something, maybe some birds or something. some crows and stuff like that. So this is one version of it. Let's go to the next. Never spend a lot of time on these. These are just to get the kind of idea and the shape of it all. It doesn't have to have any detail or, you know, atmosphere or anything. It's for you to see if it works or not. So once again, let's imagine that the title is somewhere around here. Let's see, we could do a guy in action. Perhaps he's swinging his sword. So maybe he has his sword kind of like this, has the other hand on it, something like this. Maybe we can see him go swinging full swing. Maybe we can have the sword go up into the title, you know, to make it a little bit more three-dimensional of sorts. Let's put one leg up. Maybe it's like stepping on somebody. And like this. And maybe there's people around here. Once again, a lot of people maybe just fighting and stuff like that. Maybe some guy here is swinging. Maybe he's stepping on somebody here. Yeah, something like that perhaps. Maybe there's fire going up the side, so we can get some to kind of frame him. Maybe there's some birds here again, perhaps a little bit more detailed birds kind of flying away or something, and he's like, yeah. And maybe there's some building here in the background just to make it frameable. So as you can see, we have now a second one. Let's go to the next, and for this we could change the angle perhaps to see, maybe we like this previous idea, so maybe we go and do another version. Maybe he's coming from the other side swinging, something like this. So maybe he's coming very swinging, kind of like this. Maybe his leg is a little bit slower here. Maybe there's a more detailed character here who has a kind of a shield over here, so we don't know if he's gonna be able to break that shield or not. Maybe he has a spear in his hand, kind of like this. But as you can see, it's just ideas, and I'm not doing any quick details and stuff like that. Maybe we have a guy in the foreground here, so we can cover up some legs and stuff like that. Here's the sword again. Maybe we push it up into the title once more, like such. And here we go. And this guy is like, oh shit. For this, maybe we should just have some smoke going, so we can get a kind of flow in this direction. So we get the smoke kind of going like this. And yeah, we get that one. For the fourth one, maybe we can have maybe more of a after battle kind of feel, kind of like we did with the first one, but instead of him crawling and stuff like that, maybe we could have him, you know, standing on top here on a lot of bodies, just, you know, holding on to the sword, kind of like tired and everything. Let's just put him like such. And as you can see, no details, just going with the flow and just trying to get a kind of a pose. So maybe here we have a lot of people just standing here. The important stuff isn't the kind of the battle of corpses or everything like that. In this version, it's more about the aftermath, so to speak. So maybe we have some heads and stuff like that, but we don't see perhaps everything. We just see the kind of destruction, and maybe we have some fire. No, smoke. In this case it would be smoke since it's the after battle. So maybe some smoke, you know, going up here. Maybe we have some characters very light in the background going, you know, picking stuff up and stuff like that, and he's just looking up into the sky and like, what the hell have happened here? Some birds perhaps like this, maybe some fire, kind of like that. So here you see we have now four ideas for a cover. Now this is the thumbnail process. As you could see, it didn't take me long because I didn't spend much time on it, and that's just the point. A thumbnail should not take long. So for instance, if we feel like, if I'm looking at these, the favorite ones are this one, and perhaps this one. But I'm gonna go with this one. So we're gonna go and combine everything here. Just take this, and let's see, we're gonna push it like this, and we're gonna copy that one. We go to this, and we're gonna put it on its own layer. As you can see, it's very small now, but all I have to do now is drag it, make sure it fits within the pages because we have measured it correctly. Maybe I want to push it out a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger, just so we get the feeling right. So yeah, maybe like there, push it a little bit like such. Here we go, boom. And here we go. Now we have our thumbnail here. So I'm gonna lower the opacity, and I'm gonna go into a time lapse here just to see, because now I'm gonna sketch over this thumbnail to do the actual sketch for the drawing. This is just the thumbnail, it doesn't show any detail or anything like that, but now I have to actually draw the thing. So I'm gonna think something up here. I don't have any designs or anything, but I'm just gonna show you in a quick time lapse how it goes from thumbnail to the sketch, and then you move on to the inks and everything else, but just to go to the sketch here. So I'll see you in a little bit. And there we go. Now it's not a detailed sketch or anything like that, but now you can see a better idea from the thumbnail to the first sketch. Now I can improve on this sketch, I can make some more details and change some stuff maybe if I want to. Maybe add something like I did with the castle wall here. I decided to add a little bit more. Maybe I should change that a little bit so it goes a little bit more straight like this. And there's more you can do with this. Maybe the flames shouldn't be this high. Maybe we should see what it is that's burning. Maybe we could have something else in the background as well. Maybe the color could change some things up like that. But you get a better picture now of what I mean when we go from this to this. Alright, as you can see, this to this. And it's all based on this first thumbnail, just to get the pose. And I spent, what, maybe 1 minute, not even that. And then you have this from that. So sometimes it's very good to do a thumbnail if you have an idea, but you just know maybe perhaps a pose. Well, do the pose and then try to add and try some things or work it out. Maybe you can change the thumbnail and try something of that and change it. There are endless possibilities, but it's always good to do the thumbnails so you can see what kind of ideas you had. Maybe this idea wasn't what you were looking for. Maybe you want something more somber, or more something perhaps one-on-one, or maybe the aftermath of a battle instead of being right in the battle. So the thumbnail is there to help you to kind of choose, okay, what does it work for you? Did it look what you imagined? And don't spend much time on them. Just do, if you want to do more than 4, absolutely, go for 4, go nuts. You can do 10, 16, 555. It doesn't matter, because sometimes you have to, express and try some things to make it work. And sometimes it does work, sometimes I need to do maybe perhaps this one instead, or maybe this is actually better for what I am trying to tell with the art, or whatever. It's up to you, but a thumbnail is very good to do to kind of exercise your brain to see, okay, does the composition work? Is everything in place? Is there a lot of dead space? Maybe I should take care of that. Maybe I could move things around. Maybe I could, like here, a lot of dead space here. Maybe I could push the character like this. I can perhaps just take this, go a little bit something like this, and perhaps just, push it out, make it bigger so I can cover more areas. Maybe he has, clothes. For instance, let's just say he has hair that goes like this. Okay, then, or maybe he has a scarf or something that goes like, so we can cover up some dead space that we don't want to, be empty. And then we're gonna cut it off like that, like such. So you can see we can make different things by just trying. It doesn't mean that we have to spend a lot of time on it. Just sketch it out, make the shapes, and then you can move it on to the final paper and then work on it like such. Okay? So I hope you have learned something, and I hope you will find the thumbnails actually help you a lot. And I will see you in the next tutorial video. Bye!